Dan.
Very good.
These are any amendments to the weekly notice. Anything additional to that book will be on here, and anything that's not on here could be published in that late notice case, which I've already checked. Time on duty. I just enjoy coming to work still. It's my hobby as well, really. They'll slip in the desert, some of these. They've got so much power with so little weight, only just over 80 tonnes. But time will tell. You've got to be 100% concentrating all the while in this sort of area. Now in the station I proved I'd got continuity of air from back to the train to the front. I've now got to prove that the brake actually... there's a signal reverse, the signal gone back to danger.
What happened there, John?
Signal reverted back to danger in front of me. Hello, driver 1 Hotel 06. Whiskey Mike 111 signal reverted it to danger as I passed over the AWS magnet. I'm at a stand just in advance of 111. Understood, thank you. Got an apology from the signalman, he put the wrong signal back in front of us. He put 111 back. I've been on the phone to him, he said, I'm sorry driver.
What goes through your mind when you see that?
At that speed in this location, not a lot really, but if it had been in here or would have been running at line speed, but at least that proved that the brake works, didn't it? That's our running brake test done for us. He did sound a bit upset. He apologised. Well, not profusely, but he admitted straight away that he replaced the wrong signal to danger. And he told me that I was okay to proceed. So actually I should be met now somewhere to see that I'm okay. Well, I feel fine, so... I feel a bit sorry for him actually, because anybody can make a mistake. And it's just one of those things, isn't it? Well, hello, Milne.
I've just been asked by your control if you're alright.
Yeah, I did have a word
I know
with
they
him.
said you just wanted to check, make sure you're okay.
Everything's fine. Signal had admitted it, he replaced the wrong signal.
Ah, right.
No
Okay.
problem.
No problem. Have a safe journey.
Thank you. That's belt and braces. What he basically came down for, I could be drunk or anything, see, drugs or... That's fair enough. Man didn't do it deliberately. He did sound upset, I'll grant him that. As I said before, man that never made a mistake, never made anything. Oh, my control said, well, we'll take that up the rail track. So that'll all go through the machinery and I may well be met again at Stoke or Manchester, just see if I'm alright, you know. And although there was absolutely nothing I could do about it, as you saw, that will go on my record. Well, the first thing you always do, as soon as you come up against a red one, actually this morning I saw that go from green to red, but if we were running on all greens now, like we might be now, and you go round the corner and it's a red for some reason, the first thing you think, shit, what was that last signal, you know? But it does make you think, blimey, have I, you know, slipped up here? In my case, I've never had a SPAD. It's always been, oh, it's gone back, a track circuit blip, or we don't know why it's gone back, or... I think in all my career, that's only about the second time this morning that a signalman has ever said that he's slipped up. And of course you witnessed that.
Come on, get out of the way.
He's all off for a train. Got the signals off for a train to depart from Oxford Road and no driver on it.
Frank, can you just test how they're doing with that Sheffield on number 1?
How are we doing with the Sheffield on number 1, please?
It's like I could say it's like a moving jigsaw, if you know what I mean. If I run one and then tie myself up from running another, then you know I've sort of defeated the object. The idea is to try and keep as many moving as possible. So.
No conductor on platform 1 for the Sheffield.
Copy. No guard on it.
The easiest way is to keep you cool and hope that they see your point of view and that they're in the wrong. Because more than likely they are in the wrong.
They think we're bloody psychic in here.
Hello, driver. Yeah, you'll be going very shortly, sir. I've got a bit late running, as you can probably see. All right, thank you. See, he wasn't happy. Well, it's raining in it. He won't be happy having to get off his cab. But they tend to think that at times they're the only train on the railway, and when you look up there now, there's there's 2 stood at Hardwick there. That one at the front of Hardwick's been there 7 or 8 minutes now. But there's nothing I can do because the first one's not booked on the junction for 20 minutes yet. How are we doing on 14, please? Only I've got another 3 trying to get in there. Just been announced, right. Just been announced. How bleeding long's it been in?
That is unofficial, that. He should be eating in his bedroom.
I'm having a minute while it's quiet. I prefer to stand when I do it, because when I'm standing I'm at the right height for the sheets, I don't need my glasses, and I'm at the right distance from the panel so I can see it all, and it just flows okay. But occasionally I get the need to have a sit down, so I'm just taking a minute now while there's now moving. I'm going to have to stand up here now. Well, it's like all of them in here. They all have the spells at times. I mean, like now it's reasonably quiet, but in another 10 minutes there'll be a mad surge of trains coming in, all going out at the same time and what have you, and then it'll go daft. There's a train fail now across the junction there at Hodsall Lane. It might cause a bit of disruption to Manchester Victoria, and it stops the main access up to Piccadilly from the Preston direction. Too often we find out too late, and like when it failed before this time, luckily we were able to get one behind it with the same type, which could have assisted it, but then he's got going again under his own steam, so it wasn't required. But it's the signalman at the end of the day that's going to get them on the move, you know. I mean, if they need help from other people, then they should do that later, but first and foremost they need to tell the signalman when they're at a stand, or they've failed, or there's something wrong, or they see something that needs reporting. It's no good going through 2 or 3 other parties, because the information gets corrupted on the way to reaching us. Hello. Don't know who that was. I think they always get happy welcome. I mean, we don't like being mithered, like anyone else doesn't like being mithered, but at the end of the day we're here to do a job, and we all think we do a good job. Aye, alright then. So, 1556 Marple is building up air pressure. It won't be ready for some time.
They really wind me up, I'm afraid.
Yeah, we do get a bit cynical, I'm afraid, because we, like I said to you earlier, we get the same problems day after day after day, like that type of thing. That train's on that platform all day long, every day of the week, Monday to Friday. And yet it's going to have a late start today because somebody's come to it late.
We've got drivers here boiling the bags. Do you know why? Because they'll be ready in 5 minutes.
Up the fast. We've just had a Virgin driver that didn't quite understand where he was going, so he came on to ask, which is it's a bit strange in one sense that he didn't know or he wasn't certain, but at least he had the sense to come on and make sure he was going in the right place. Far better than to make a mistake is to come on and say, I'm not quite sure. Hello.
Driver 2HP, start again. Driver 2HO8 has been.
Yeah, just running in number 6, sir. So, that's one thing that really grates that. Them 2 phone calls within a minute from different parts of the station, and both of them were asking for the same train. That's a guard and a driver travelling around the station separately. Why they can't walk in pairs and ask you, I do not know, but they always have to walk separately.
Sometimes it goes fairly uneventfully, and other times when anything goes wrong, then you could be in a lot of contact with the signals. The duration of the turn is 9 hours and 38 minutes. Pretty gruesome. One of our worst turns. Morning, Dennis.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Got your schedule.
Yeah, okay, right.
All right, and Dave, thank you. Oh, wrong one. Try the other one. Good morning, Woking.
Well, I try to keep a positive outlook on the day and try my best to do a professional job, make a good job of it, and that way it makes the day go easier. Oh, right time on clear signals. Next stop, Wimbledon. When we get round the corner, it'll all change. We'll have yellow signals as we approach the London area. It's just the intensity of the service.
As you can hear, the train is so crowded people can't actually get on. People are refusing to get on because they can't fit themselves on, and the announcement's coming out that there is another train coming in a few moments, approximately 2 minutes now. I was sitting here on a train that is due to go down to Hounslow via Richmond and then back to Waterloo, having set up the radio and received on the radio the right running number. However, as I pull away from the station, the radio code changes to an incorrect running number, that route being Kingston instead of Hounslow. So I contacted the signaller. The signalman's reply was, but you are a Kingston round driver. Okay, signalman, I said, in that case then, I would need for you to forward to our control that I'm driving the wrong train, and in fact that I've loaded this train with the wrong passengers for the wrong destinations. The conversation ended with the signalman adamant that I was that train. No sooner had we gone through Clapham Junction as the radio peeped into life and changed back to the Hounslow Rounder running number. No further conversation between the signalman and myself, and we carried on and was signalled via Hounslow. Now, isn't that a classic case?
I have had conversations with signals where they've been very abrupt with me for no particular reason at all. While it takes you aback, you think to yourself, well, perhaps he's having a bad day as well. The one which annoyed me the most was when I had a signal go back to red on front of me entering a single line, and he claimed it was because there was a door on the catch reported, and caused me to have quite a strong conversation with the signaller, and I argued it was the wrong place to have done that. I think he got the point, whether yeah, I think he got the point all right.
One thing I don't know fully whether signalmen understand is the layout of the track, the curvatures of the line and the position of signals. And what can happen is you can contact a signaller because you're waiting at a signal for an unusual length of time. So the signalman may query why you have contacted him when it's quite clear that there is a train in front of you crossing over. Now you see, that obviously speaks volumes because it tells the driver that the signalman obviously doesn't know what the driver can see. And if the signalman can't see what the driver's looking at, then it can give the two parties a quite opposite point of view. So he might be saying, "Oh, that blasted driver, what's the matter with the impatient man? Can't he see the train going across in front of him? The lunatic is coming up from Virginia Water, up from Weybridge." But of course you can't.
If you were to look at the control log of the instance during the day, or look at the pager to see that things are always going wrong, you would think, well, crumbs, nothing works. But at the end of the day, you get drivers that go for months and even years without incidents. So when you consider the amount of trains we run on this system, faults and failures are actually few and far between.
Failed trains are not good, and the passengers are not expecting the train to fail, and so the pressure's on. And you in the guard, and you especially, are the man of the moment. You're the spotlight.
The biggest challenge is identifying the fault in the quickest possible time, because the danger is that when something doesn't go, panic can quickly set in.
You do not know that your train is not going to go until you try and go. And so by this time, you've got the signal and everybody's on the train and you're ready to move.
I've been in that situation and I've actually made the wrong decision. You do something silly or something you don't need to do, and you just, because your thinking's not clear. I mean, if my train didn't go there, I would think, oh no, what's gone wrong, and I could quickly get into panic mode. So you've got to make an effort to remain calm and just think, right, what have I got here that would stop me from moving? What have I got behind me that would stop me from moving? You do need to think quickly and clearly, but it can very quickly turn into an extremely stressful situation.
I was coming into Waterloo one day. I put the brake in and come up to a stand and the home signal before you go into Waterloo. When I went to release the brake to take power, the brake cylinder gauge showed that I still had brake on. So the brake was stuck on outside Waterloo. What a nightmare! After
which you would have to contact the signaller if you hadn't rectified the fault to tell him you need to look further. And the biggest worry for a driver is, has he missed something silly? Has he missed something simple? Something as simple as pressing the overload reset button. And that's always a worry. And it's a great relief if you find out afterwards that it was something you couldn't rectify.
They don't really want you to hold up the line because of the delicate infrastructure which is going to hold up all the other services on that line, because all pathways are occupied, obviously. There's not enough space in the timetable to allow for these failures. So yeah, big amount of pressure on a driver, big amount of pressure on a signalman, on a guard, on everybody. Failures are a bit of a nightmare.
We need somebody to go down and operate the ground frame to get that Voyager out, because he can't go south, he can only go north.
North, alright.
Alright,
No problem.
The dummy controls your exit from the carriage sidings that you're in. That takes you out onto the goods. When your train's clear of that, then yes, he puts the road back. You don't need to stop, you just need to go to Oscar X-ray 76 signal. Okay, thank you, driver. Out, top, back. There was a driver there who was being enormously good, really. He hadn't made the move, and he really just wanted to know what he had to do. He knew what the dummy did. He knew where it took him, but he just wanted to clear it in his mind that he knew exactly what he was doing, and which is good.
Driver on 2 November 37, stood at Oscar X-ray 16 signal. If you'll await the signal there, driver, I've got a freight come to a stand in front of you on the down main for some reason. Okay, driver, thank you. Just rung up, wanted to know what's going on. Stood at a red signal. Our colleague on the freight come to a stand, I think, probably to pick the shunter up. Stops the railway. Well, we got a queue of trains now. He's going to be 10 late, at least. Ted's brewing. Tea's brewing, Ted, do you want one?
Yes, please. Nice and strong, please.
Oh, it will be, I promise.
Making life easy for us is just being polite and patient, which is majority of the time is what we have to be with everybody.
Well, I mean, that's the margin. I really can't give you any other advice than that. Those are the times that there are available to you on the branch. Okay. So just wait and obey the signals for me, please. Thank you, Tar. Not a happy man. Not a happy man at all. I mean, that driver is well, what can you say? a little bit of a moaner. You know, I mean, his train runs every day of the week. The conflicting train runs every day of the week. Sometimes there is a margin, sometimes there isn't, and today there isn't. And he knows there isn't. I know there isn't, but he's still having his moan, and I'm just playing the game with him, really. You know, drivers will keep on phoning in like they're doing now, asking you why are they at signals, why are they at a stand, why can't they make this move, why can't they do that, and you really just have to sort of be patient and tell them. And as for work, I mean, you can hear 2 phones going now, but you really must only ever concentrate on one job at a time. Because if you try and concentrate on too many things, then something will go wrong. No doubt.
Just one moment. That's all right, is it?
Yeah,
I've got it right.
all right, Ted, yeah.
Okay, driver. The route is now set and locked from 179 onto reception line number 1. You may pass 179 signal at danger and proceed to the protection in rear of Oscar X-ray 114 signal, where you will be met by the hand signaller and given your further instructions. If you'd like to repeat that back to me, please. There's just far too many trains. Like I say, it's just a big juggling act of trying to keep the stuff moving. And of course, the biggest problem with the more trains, you've got more red signals. So, more red signals, up go the spads. I've seen a train go past the window that was blatantly going too fast, and I knew he wasn't going to stop at a red signal, the next one, which he didn't.
Uniquely, I've actually been on a train that went past a signal at danger when I was a guard. I could quite clearly see that the signal in front of us was a single yellow, and as we went past it, still doing 55 miles an hour with the power still on, I said to the driver, "Here, drive, that was a single yellow back there." "Was it?" I said, "Well, yeah, it was a single yellow. Look at your AWS indicator, mate." "Oh, bloody hell, yeah, bloody hell." Whoosh, in goes the brake, and, you know, off comes the power handle, and the next signal was looming up to us in the dark, and sure enough, we went past it by about engine and 2 wagons, and...
It is very, very difficult. It is a very unpleasant situation to be in, having to talk to somebody that is as professional as you are. They've done something wrong. You know they've done something wrong. You're then that person that's going to make that incident actually official, and can be very difficult, but that's part of the job, and you just have to deal with it. Hello, driver, Oxford.
Yeah, that's right, but we've had a word with him. We can't get you down there at the moment with all these trains, so you're coming into the main station, terminating here, sir.
Obviously, it does create a lot of problems because you're looking round then to re-platform other trains, and it can involve quite a lot of messing about.
My train home's here, not to worry about. Specialise on that one.
These people want their train, so...
Everyone in here that goes on and off a train specialises on services, like Mr Lunt specialises on Liverpools.
They're not answering the phone, isn't that a surprise?
We look after Liverpools more than any other, because if we don't, we get slagged off by the Scouse regulator.
You go batty after 12 months in here, but it's 12 years in my case.